announcement, Gilletta? Okay. Um, Today, you have one? Okay. Come on up.
All right, a couple of quick ones. May 14th, this Thursday, we're doing a glimpse of AI, a snapshot of AI at SIU. We're hosting it all day from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come on, come all. We'll have snacks and discussions and whatnot. The other announcement is data centers, May 18th, Monday here at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 7 to 9 p.m. Come for a community conversation about data centers. Thank you.
Okay, we're doing this a little different today.
Sorry to keep y'all. This is a good news announcement. The home sale brought in over $40,000 for the second year. When we finished on Saturday, it was a little over 38,000. And I wondered later, where did that extra money come from? Did somebody have a guilt trip? But it was from eBay. So, yeah, thanks y'all for your contributions in your shopping.
That's great news. Okay. In the Commons today and in the kitchen, there will be a collection of lost items. So take a look, see if any of them belong to you. If they're not claimed today, they will be donated to our yard sale stash. Okay, next announcement. For the Sacred Mind Support Group, the bulletin announced in the announcement in the email that went out this morning, it has the incorrect Zoom link. So Jen said that if you go to the registration required section on that Zoom link, that's where the correct link is. Or you can just email Jen and she will send it to you directly. No need to register. And it's also available in person, so feel free to join. I just want to mention that the Sunday services team wants everyone to be aware that our services are recorded on Zoom and they are paused for joys and sorrows and then uploaded to the Cuff YouTube channel. Because with the current political climate, we want everyone to be aware of this. And now, please center yourselves with the music of our prelude. And this is going to be a YouTube video of Listen to the Spirit by Father Rob Galea. Wow. Welcome to the Carbondale Unitarian Fellowship, and a very happy Mother's Day to you all. Our building is located on the unceded traditional lands of the first people of present-day Southern Illinois, the Kaskaskia, the Quapaw, the Osage, and the Miamia. Our fellowship is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association, sharing the good news of Unitarian Universalism to folks throughout the region. Our good news is a message of love, freedom, reason, respect, and justice as the basis for religious community. I'm Jan Eisenhardt. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a member of the Awakening Heart Dharma Group and the Round Table Readers. I'm also on the bookkeeping team. And this morning, I'm your Sunday service facilitator. We are a congregation of open minds and hearts, all ages, all colors, all genders, all abilities, all kinds of wealth, and all kinds of love. Now I invite those of us who are online to select gallery view so we can wave at each other, connecting our congregation over space. Tough is lay-led right now, with the Sunday services team planning our services using the rich spirit and talents of many of our congregation members, friends, speakers, and guest ministers. We await our new minister, Reverend Karen Van Fossum, who will join us in August. We had the pleasure of meeting her by Zoom last week. Please join us on Sunday mornings or at our Wednesday evening Vesper services.
This morning, before I light our chalice for worship, I'm going to read a poem I wrote, which articulates some of my spiritual beliefs.
Before you read that, I'd like to introduce Jen Salamone, who will be giving us our message today, but also the chalice lighting.
I do introduce myself a little later. This is called Who You Are Supposed to Love and What You Are Supposed to Be. Time certainly passes, but it cannot pass you by. Even if you are standing still, you move. There is movement in all things, even in death, in entropy. Your hair is still growing, dear. You're sloughing off your skin. And this turn of phrase, this supposed to, see, what is meant is a tricky thing, a guess at purpose, as we meaning make. Kismet in the dictionary lies between kier and a kiss. Destiny, a set of brandied lips, rings somewhat false, but part of me likes the thought. But more for me, I believe in story, fate, the clarity that comes in the telling. I believe in happenstance, an openness to random chance, to be curious and ready to act. And if there is a fated kiss, then move through your life with parted lips, open, curious, and ready to receive it. Our chalice is lit. Now, with intention, Jan puts a pebble in our bowl of water, letting it ripple out beyond our knowing. All are invited to do the same here at the fellowship or at home to mark a joy, sorrow, or any other feeling you have during the musical parts of the service.
And now is time for one of those musical interludes with Bob Swenson. And Elena.
Good morning. Is this on? Good morning. I really appreciate Elena helping me with a couple of those songs this morning. And this song is dedicated to mothers, and mothers who have had the responsibility to raise the kids when the fathers would disappear, either in Ireland, and end up in prison, or today with ICE. And we've lost so many people. By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young girl calling, Michael, they have taken you away, for you stole Trevelyan's corn, so the young might see the morn. Now a prison ship lies waiting in the bay. The fields of Athenry, where once we watched that small free bird fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams, songs to sing. So lonely round the fields of Athenry, by a lonely prison wall, I heard a young man calling, nothing matters, Mary, when you're free. Against the famine and the crown I rebuilt, they cut me down. Now you must raise our child in dignity. The fields of Athenry, where once we watched that small free bird fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. So lonely round the fields of Athenry. Harbor wall, she watched the last star falling as that prison ship sailed out against the sky. For she'll live in hope and pray for a love on Botany Bay, so lonely round the fields of Athenry. Athenry, where once we watched that small free bird fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. So lonely round the fields of Athenry, so lonely round the fields of Athenry.
When we're quiet, I can hear the birds singing outside. I love that. This is the second Sunday of the month, so we will learn more about our Social Sunday Action Service recipient, 724 Ministries, from Ed and Jennifer O'Donnell.
Hi, I'm Jennifer O'Donnell,
And I'm Ed, in case you were confused.
and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do, and then he's going to close us up. So, in 2014, we purchased a home in Murfreesboro, Illinois, to start a soup kitchen. And in about 5 years ago, we started serving that meal. It took us a little bit to get started. And it's called 724 Ministries. That's the name of the 501c3. The meal is served every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. It is all done by volunteers. We have different groups that come and bring the food out. You come in, if you're a guest, you come in and give your name like you would at a restaurant. You come in and sit down. The food is brought to you at your table, and by our volunteers, you get your drinks. There's silverware and glass, china plates, glass glasses and napkins and the whole 9 yards. It's like eating, at a nice restaurant. All the meal is free. We do accept donations, but we don't expect anybody walking through the door to have to pay for the meal. It isn't all you can eat. Most of the time, every once in a while we have a hiccup, but most of the time it's an all you can eat meal. It is like this, today's meal, we're having a chicken enchilada casserole, Mexican street corn, Southwest salad and roll, and cookie for dessert. So we change it up every week. It's something different, and everybody seems to really enjoy it. The guests, when we first started coming, we have a variety of guests. We have some kids that come that like walk up from the housing unit just south of us. No parents, they just come. We live in a great location because we're within walking distance of a lot of the housing there in Murfreesboro. And we have a pretty good selection of folks that come. We have different groups that come and serve for us, and it's a different group every single week. Do you want to go from there?
Shall I step in?
Yes.
Good morning, Carbondale. First of all, we left a sheet of information about us and a card with our phone number on it. The sheet has some information out on the social action table because we're not going to spend much time, take up much of your time. The one thing that I do want to do is talk just a minute about what this does for the people that attend the meal and the people that serve it. We wanted to reach out to people in two ways, and we've really discovered that the servers, the volunteers that come and serve, probably get more out of the experience than the people that come and eat. The people leave with a smile on their face when they come in to eat. They enjoy it. It's become a community. 95, we serve about 100 people a week. 95 out of the 100 have been there multiple times before. It is their Sunday evening place for people that can't go to Cracker Barrel or, God forbid, the Flame or someplace else. They come there, they sit together, they enjoy they enjoy being served, and they enjoy the fellowship. The volunteers, I've seen very few people that come, particularly first-time volunteers. A lot of them are in the season of life that many of us are, and we're all tired as all get out when we're done, but we leave with a big smile on our face. And Jennifer and I crash in our little recliners upstairs at 8 o'clock and with this stupid grin on our face because we did something we felt was worthwhile. The volunteers have that type of attitude when they leave. A lot of times, people that haven't done it before, they'll have this surprised and stunned look on their face. That was my reaction when I first did something like this. I'm going to invite you to consider two things. First of all, we appreciate the financial support. We're completely supported by donations. We appreciate that. But like this illustration of dropping the pebble in the water and the ripples go. And if they weren't contained by that bowl, you wouldn't know where they went. That's the type of impact we have on the people in our community, both the guests and the volunteers. We invite you to come and try that sometime. If you want to awaken curiosity, step into that environment with us on a Sunday night and serve that meal and see what it does for you. If you don't like it, you're in a very small community, but you might find that it's tremendously satisfying. I found it to be the most satisfying thing that I've done in my life. Good, bad, and indifferent. This was one of the best. We invite you to consider that. Get in touch with us. Get the phone number, email of us. All that stuff is on the sheet out there. The second thing is that we do, if you want to ease into that experience of serving a group of underserved folks on Sunday, we do a fundraising meal every second and fourth Monday of the month. And we serve a much different environment. The folks that come have also become a community. They support us financially by coming to the meal, but they sit down, they enjoy the meal, they enjoy the environment. And the house is, if I don't say so, do say so myself, it's something to see. Consider doing that. We have one tomorrow night. You can find information about that online. The phone number's on the business card out here. If you're interested in trying one of those, you can get a feel for what happens on Sunday night because we have some video boards where we show pictures of it. But if you haven't done something like this, if you haven't stepped outside of yourself and served somebody else in this way, where you actually do it with your hands and feet, try it somewhere. I promise you, you'll like it. Thank you for inviting us today. We have a busy day on Sunday, so we're going to go back to the house and start rolling enchiladas or something like that effect and get ready for tonight. But thank you so much for your time. We enjoyed your service, and to all of you.
I do have 3 dates available if you do decide as a group that you want to serve. There's a date in July, one in September, and one in December. All the rest of them are booked this year. So call that number on the business card and you get me and we can work that out.
And if your group is 2 or 3, call Jennifer and she'll fit you.
Thank you so much for your service, Ed and Jennifer. You may not know, but some of us volunteer at the Feed My Sheep soup kitchen here in Carbondale once a week. But some of us may want to try helping you out as well. Oh, okay. Jennifer said the leftovers go to the Feed My Sheep soup kitchen in Carbondale at Bethel AME Church. Thank you. In our fellowship, we share so many things: time, efforts, talents, spirit, and money. We share with this fellowship and for the needs of the fellowship. But we also share with our greater community beyond these walls. You may contribute to the fellowship or to our social action offering recipient for May, 724 Ministries, which you've just heard about. And there's also more information about them in the order of service. Checks should be payable to CUF, and you can also donate online through PayPal. The link is in the chat and in your order of service. And don't forget to use the memo area in your check and the note area in PayPal if you wish to specify a contribution to 724 Ministries. Also, remember that your spare change makes a difference. All the coins collected during the service are sent to the UUA Annual Program Fund, which provides important resources to UU congregations, including CUF, and we have used those funds several times. So please join me in our unison offering reading. The words are in your order of service and on the screen. Freely have we received of gifts that minister to our needs of body and spirit. Gladly we bring to our fellowship and its wide concerns a portion of this bounty. Your contributions in all forms are greatly appreciated.
This song was written by one of our members, Dan Marsh, who grew up near Cobden, and it's about working for his mom and his grandma on the farm in the hot summer sun and listening to what his grandma said. Working on the North 40, kids farming out in the sun, just bending, stooping, sweating, and cussing, wondering when the day would ever be done. As Grandma preached by the sweat of our brow, I can still hear her singing right now. We'll work till Jesus comes, we'll work. And that's how long we thought it would be. To my sister, brothers, and me, that old back-breaking work seemed like eternity. Yeah, that old back-breaking work seemed like eternity. Working in the North 40, folks didn't pay us a cent. Mama said the shirt on your back is lint. You kids should be thankful that you don't pay the rent. Grandma said there's no money, can't you see? I can still hear her singing to me. We'll work till Jesus comes, we'll work. That's how long we thought it would be. To my sister, brothers, and me, that old back-breaking work seemed like eternity. That old back-breaking work seemed like eternity. We're working on that song, Mama's favorite one. Been 40 years since we worked out in that sun. Sure we'd be proud to get this song done. Hear my grandson say, hey, gonna finish it this year. Grandma's voice still ringing in my ear. We'll work till Jesus comes, we'll work. That's how long we thought it would be. To my sisters, brothers, and me, that old back-breaking work seemed like eternity. Yeah, that old back-breaking work seemed like eternity. Yeah, that old back-breaking work seemed like eternity.
Thank you, Bob. I now invite Jen to share her message, Radio God, Talking to the Universe.
Good morning, all. I'm Jen Salamone. My pronouns are she and her. I've been a member of CUF for almost exactly a year now. And as of tomorrow, all my grades have been finalized, and at noon, I submit my penultimate draft of my master's thesis, which is a word I would never use outside of grad school, but means second to last. And May 31st, I'll graduate with a Master of Arts in Religion, with a focus on theology and ethics. So I'm honored to speak to you all today about my Unitarian Universalist faith and my personal faith. Our video prelude this morning is from a providence we don't often see in Unitarian Universalism, but it's an important one of our sources. We use lived out our principles, now our values, within a living tradition of wisdom and spirituality, drawn from sources as diverse as science, poetry, scripture, and personal experience with the transcendent. The song I played you this morning was written by a well-known singer, songwriter, priest in Australia, Father Rob Galea. He has a presence on social media. The song was Listen to the Spirit, and it was the official theme song of the National Australian Catholic Youth Festival. Its imagery is contemporary, but it's definitely rooted in the history of the world religion Catholicism, and it features that iconography. There's multiple crosses, for example. I hope no one felt discomfort with the imagery, but I recognize that in this space, that is a distinct possibility. Many of us come from faiths other than UU and had to drop a lot of baggage around religion before we could come to the good news of Unitarian Universalism. I grew up in the Catholic religion. I know a great many recovering Catholics in UU spaces. And today's service will explore how we talk to spirit or universe, God, source. We use so many names. And it starts with my worldview, which starts with Catholic dogma. Catholic dogma says we can speak to God, but that intimacy is possible through the mediation of Jesus Christ. Catholic dogma holds that speaking to God through prayer is a fundamental, direct, and essential act of relationship, which the Catechism defines as raising one's mind and heart to God. It's a two-way dialogue. It's not just a petition. It includes listening through scripture and silent interior reflection. Some key aspects of Catholic teaching on speaking to God include that Catholics can and should speak directly to God, Father, Son, or Holy Spirit, that prayer is a conversation, and we share our thoughts, feelings, and daily events with God. And prayer involves listening to God, and they speak through scripture, tradition, and the stillness of our hearts. In modern times, the Catholic are trying to speak directly to the young people and tell them that they can hear what God is telling them even in these times. Our friends at the United Church of Christ also say God is still speaking. In Unitarian Universalism, we acknowledge an ongoing revelation. The video acknowledged reading the Bible. Visually, it's there from the very beginning. But our character also listens in nature, to trees and bodies of water, in the mountains, in sacred spaces. And particularly, I loved the two shots where he's driving some empty span of road, and I imagine he can listen to God there as well, driving and flipping through the radio. When I was a teenager, I made up a game I called Radio God. Radio God was an evolution of my worldview that started in the Catholic Church in high school religion classes and youth groups. Here, I was introduced to the idea that you can solicit an answer through spirit using the holy text. I was taught you could think of a question and open the Bible to any random page and passage and put your finger down and discover your answer there. Little did I know this process is not actually condoned by the Catholic Church. It really is an esoteric practice called bibliomancy, where you consult a text as means of divination. So I find it kind of ironic that my Catholic upbringing first introduced me to the esoteric, and occult first introduced me to pluralism. I used the Bible for my source at first, and then my practice evolved. I started adding Christian books. Then I figured poetry means a lot more to me than those religious texts, so what if I consult Sylvia Plath for the answer? Eventually, I figured all art, all culture could be a means of divination and that the universal consciousness could be tapped into. Part of that belief solidified because I had experienced so many times in my life where I was concerned about a certain thing or going through something specific, and I'd get in the car and turn on the radio, and it was like it'd be speaking directly to me. I noted some trends about this when it happened. A lot of the times it was a put you in your place kind of moment. Like I'm stressed out about something, a song comes on that basically says, hey, don't take yourself too seriously. When that happens, I laugh, maybe say out loud, yes, I hear you, thanks for the reminder. And so eventually I thought, instead of waiting around for those random messages or signs, maybe I can just ask. So began the game. I figured I could tune into the universe through my radio and consult the divine. Radio God had rigid rules at first. I think that's how my adolescent mind worked. The game was to get in a vehicle. That's where listening to the radio occurs for me. Tune into the available station, become present in your body and mind, and pose a question. Press seek on the dial, and the next song that comes on clearly is your answer. I figured static didn't count. I made the rule that talk radio didn't count, and Christian stations didn't count either, since I argued there the answer is always Jesus. But I became more open to any message over time, a short sentence in a news story or a Christian alternative ballad. I saw messages outside of songs too, and began to be as curious about what they were saying. I believe I am living in a universe that is always communicating with and learning itself. I want to tap into that wisdom. Once someone asked me, what do you expect to happen when you reach out this way? Because it is a deliberate reaching out, a bid for an immediate response. I think I had more rules even around this in the beginning. At first, I was reaching out to an Abrahamic God. Then it was asking the universe. Then it was specific people, my mom mostly, some animals. And now it's like tarot, an open question to whomever or whatever wants to respond. Sometimes the answer I receive, it's an affirmation that I'm on the right path and to continue in the same direction. And hugely, while I do believe there is universal knowledge to tap into, I also contain that knowledge in myself. So truly, I'm just listening to my own intuition and my own truths through personal symbols. As sung in what will be our postlude, Valerie June's Astral Plane, there is a light you have inside you can touch. And I don't expect an answer every time. Sometimes radio God will just outright say nope. Sometimes whatever bounces back doesn't resonate. It doesn't mean it doesn't work, just that magic and spirit are powerful and unknowable things that we would kid ourselves if we thought we had control over them. But we can be curious. Walk through life with parted lips. The universe is talking to us. It's trying to get our attention. It's trying to guide us, connect with us, and wake us up. I invite you to try this spiritual practice sometime. My ritual is to be in my car, which was my mom's vehicle that I inherited. That's the most consistent place I engage in this practice. It feels like a holy container open to my mom. I know today is not a traditional Mother's Day service, but it is for me. That's how I continue my relationship with her, this modern contemporary magic. I once described Radio God to someone and was told it already actually had a name, Shufflemancy, but I prefer Radio God. And you can use whatever ethical source for streaming you prefer. But settle in, open yourself up, ask for wisdom and guidance, and press shuffle and listen. You can pay attention to specific lyrics, or if it's a familiar song, then interpret the meaning of the sign from that perspective. Sometimes it's just the title. Sometimes it lands like a punchline. Recently, I told my in-laws, my husband's mother and father, that I was sorry they could not be at our wedding this July. They've both passed. I knew Jay's dad, Ron, never met his mom, Kathy. I expressed my regret, hit shuffle, and the band playing was the Little Willies, which was a nod to Willie Nelson, of whom Ron was a big fan. And the title of the song was, It's Not You, It's Me. And I laughed out loud. That certainly is my sort of humor. It's not you guys, it's us. Sorry we can't be there. We're dead. It felt like a genuine connection taking place. I've had a lot of incredibly profound experiences. The most were immediately following my mom's death. I believe that right after someone has passed is when we are still close to each other, those on this side and those who have gone to the other. I think over time, those signs and signals become less present for us or noticeable. So I reach out instead. I feel my relationship with my mom has deepened now that she's on a different astral plane. because I believe she knows things now she didn't know, and that everything is understood, and there's no more need to judge. This is also a way to communicate to all of our mothers our ancestral wisdom, what we too often abandon. I think we can talk to all the ancestors in this way. When I lost my beloved 17-year-old cat, Sophus, I was desperate to hear from him. But we never communicated in words, so I wondered if Radio God could even work. I told the universe I'd be open to hearing from him. A Jenny Lewis song came on. She's one of my favorite artists, and it was the song about a movie, Bolt. It's this really cute movie about a human and animal friendship. The dog goes on an adventure, but he figures out that really the boy is his home. And it's called Barking at the Moon. It is from the perspective of an animal. And I was stunned because I asked an animal a question and I was responded to in an animal's voice. And it was about singing about going away, but coming back. That's what I heard him say. You are my home, and I'm coming back to you, and we'll see each other on the other side. I have received answers to questions that were later revealed to be true, touching healing messages. My best friend Amy and I played Radio God for 2 decades now, and most notably on our way back and forth to Chicago, while she was my guide, spiritual guide, when I first received ketamine treatment. My experience with ketamine also expanded my spiritual beliefs. I felt the drug not so much distorted reality, but revealed it. Everything breathed, everything was connected, and simultaneously vast and contained. I really felt I could see how different planes exist right next to each other. Maybe this enchanted worldview sounds woo-woo. That's okay. We as UU are free to conduct our own search and determine our own truth and meaning. Really, this practice for me is a type of spiritual play. One definition of theology I learned in seminary is meaning-making, justice-seeking, truth-oriented spiritual play, or theology as a type of game. And games can be finite or infinite. In finite theology, the goal is to have the one right answer. The goal is to win. In an infinite game, the goal is to just keep on playing, to keep the game going of meaning making, of asking and answering questions. UU theology is a theology of infinite play. Specific characteristics define true play. The first is that it's self-chosen and self-directed. Play is free. UU theology can be freedom and a space for players to decide what to do, when to start, when to stop. We are agents. True play is also intrinsically motivated. It's done for its own sake. It's not about getting an external reward or prize or goal. The focus is on the process, not the outcome. And play is guided by rules. It's not chaotic. It's imaginative and creative. And we shift from one reality to a world of pretend. That shift can happen in a worship service. That shift can happen in a car. Play is conducted in a non-stressed, alert frame of mind. That's the vital conditions that foster voluntary and joyful engagement. Spiritual play helps children and adults learn to manage their emotions and develop social skills for being human. And that is serious stuff. Many UUs, most of us, did not grow up with liberatory theology, with the privilege of being safe enough and connected enough to be able to wholly play. Wholly play. That is only accessible when we are free, and when we are free, theology can be a space of creative transformation. That's the power of our pluralistic personal faith. We can look at the world in a way where all people who want to relate to religion can do so playfully and make it so. because the work of changing the world must be interreligious. We must share ministry within and without our congregations across difference. Spiritual health is a right. We invite people into our space to create meaning, not to find dogma to shape how we behave and move in the world, not to consume ideology as anesthetic to a tortuous world, not as oppressive theology and justified subordination for some in this world, and not as sanctuary that requires us to close our eyes to the oppression outside in our world. It is not a haven in which to refuse change in favor of awaiting another better world. It's a place to make another better world happen. I don't play radio God with irreverence, but the opposite. I engage with the genuine belief that anything we experience can be sacred. As you use, we respect each other's spirituality and enriched by our sharing our experiences. I hope in today's and future coffee hours and potlucks that you'll share some of the ways you communicate to something outside yourself, whatever that is. You share your own worldview. And I invite you to serve as a safe person to listen to another's. Our postlude is also a video, and the lyrics are on screen. It's not an easy, intuitive tune to pick up and sing, but if you are so moved, please feel free to sing out loud or move. We are all dancing on the astral plane, and we can be comfortable in our space and our bodies together. And I know that's not very you, but that's my invitation as Valerie June plays.
Is there a light you have inside you can't touch? A looking glass can only show you so much. Follow the signs, slowly but steady, don't rush. The day will come when you're ready, just trust. Dancing on the astral plane, holy water cleansing rain, floating through the stratosphere. Around me you see so clear. Is there a way for you to shine out fear from other worlds, but you can't say what keeps you here. Dancing on the astral plane, holy water cleansing rain, floating through the stratosphere. Blind, but yeah, you see so clear. Dancing on the astral plane, holy water cleansing rain, floating through the stratosphere. Blind, but yeah, you see so clear. Blind, but yeah, you see. Blind, but yeah, you see. Blind, but yeah, you see. Blind, but yeah, you see so clear. But is there a way for you to give it your all? Dreaming a dream of sweeter things, great or small. Dancing on the astral plane, holy water cleansing rain, floating through the stratosphere. Blind, but yeah, you see so clear. Dancing on the astral plane, holy water cleansing you have inside you can touch.
Jen, I'm curious about the presets on your car radio.
Unitarian Universalist station on Spotify. You can totally find one of those.
But I guess it doesn't really matter, right? And now I'd like to thank everyone who made this service possible, which includes everyone here and on Zoom. And it'll be okay to applaud for real. Thanks to Jen for her message today. Thanks to Ed and Jennifer for telling us about 724 Ministries, although they're not here anymore. Thanks to Bob for his music. And Elena for her accompaniment. Thanks to Joletta, our AV host. And thank you to Renee and Jean for greeting. We would like to take a quick moment before the benediction to ask people to please put the hymnals back on the chair when you're leaving, and also take any cups or papers or anything else with you. Thank you. So now, please rise as you are willing and able, and hold hands or hold your palms out for the benediction, which comes from, is it still the same?
No,
Okay.
here we go.
Ah, yes. Okay, we changed the benediction. Please, the benediction is by Joseph Cleveland. And just a reminder, after our spoken benediction, Bob invites all of us to sing "Will the Circle Be Unbroken" before we leave the sanctuary. So the benediction is titled, "May we hear the melody of life." May we hear the melody of life and find ourselves singing harmony. May we be open to the dissonances in the song of the land and its people, that we might be part of the world's urging toward justice, peace, and love. May we feel in our bones the rhythms of life and the land and find ourselves dancing. Blessed be. Go in peace with love for justice. Oh, Bob says we're not doing the postlude. Yeah.
E and F sharp, right? Do what? E and F sharp. Yeah. You all know, Will the Circle Be Unbroken? It's for our moms that are still here and our moms that are not with us anymore. I was standing by the window, on one cold and cloudy day. You can sing it. Saw the first gun rolling just to carry my mother. Will the circle be unbroken by my? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, in the sky. Lord, I told him, the undertaker, slow, spotty, you are falling to see her go. Be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in the grave. Will the circle be unbroken? In the better on my way in the sky. Sky one more time. Will the circle be unbroken? By the Lord, by there's a better on my way in the sky. Sky. Boy, it's nice to see you all, hear you all singing. That's really nice. Thank you.